Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream for China admissions here here at China Admissions. So we're here on YouTube. We're also here on Instagram. So if you see me looking between two different places, that is why. Also, just keep in mind that all of these live streams get recorded and then get posted on our channels on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you ever want to rewatch any of our live streams, you can always rewatch them. We have a ton of different live streams that we've done before that go over specific topics because we do try to stick to specific topics. Every now and then we'll have a bit more of a general live stream Q&A. But today we do have a specific topic. So today we're going to be talking about applying for the MBBS, which is the Bachelor's for Medicine for 2024, and then also our services to help you get accepted. So we're going to be going over that specific topic today. So if you have any specific questions regarding studying an MBBS in China, please leave the questions down below. I will get to them. I tend to get to them a bit later on in the live stream. So our live streams tend to be about 20 minutes, and it'll be in the latter half of that. And I go through the questions on YouTube and on Instagram. So just leave any of your questions regarding that and our services down below. So for the 2023 intake is like completely closed now. And so if you want to apply, you'll be applying for the 2024 intake. So this is something I say very regularly, but just to reiterate it, the majority of the universities that do degree programs, their intakes are in September. So there are very, very, very few degree programs that start in March for the spring intake. Usually, the ones that do start in March are programs like non-degree programs, like Chinese language programs or foundation programs. So just keep that in mind. That for medicine, actually, there are no programs that start in the spring intake in March that we have on China admissions. All of them start for the September intake. So let's get into some of the most popular universities that people like to apply for. So we have a separate video that we've done about 3 years on our YouTube channel. It's done quite well. It has like 50,000 views on it. And it's about the top 10 most popular medical schools in China. So that is definitely something that you can take a look at. And also just keep in mind that a lot of people, they look at the top 3 universities when they start looking at China. And when it comes to medicine, for foreigners, it's a bit more difficult to actually apply to the top 3 universities, being Peking, Tsinghua, and Fudan, because Peking and Tsinghua don't offer English-taught medical programs. So Peking and Tsinghua actually don't offer many English-taught programs in general for bachelor's programs. So Fudan University would be your best bet, but also just keep in mind that the costs to study at Fudan University are much higher than any other public university. So just keep this in mind when applying, that if you apply for a university with China admissions, you need to show that you can actually afford the tuition to go there in case you don't get a scholarship. And there are not many scholarships for medical programs. Okay, and then the other universities that are very popular for medical degrees are universities like Shantou Medical University College, like Shandong University, Dalian Medical University, Tianjin Medical University, Nanjing Medical University, Guangzhou Medical University, Southern Medical University. So usually those with the medical in them, they're very popular to apply for. They're really great medical schools. So there are actually 2 programs that are still taking in students for MBBS for or actually only there's one now. There's one university that's still open for the 2023 intake, which is Guangzhou Medical University. Hebei Medical University has just closed theirs. Okay, so if you're applying to one of these medical universities, what is the first thing that you need to do? You need to keep in mind that I would mostly recommend that if you are interested in doing an MBBS program, to book a call with us to go over your options, because it's extremely competitive. There are so many people applying It is our most popular program by far that students apply to, and that's international students in general apply to in China. So just know that there is a lot of competition, and there's so many different options. So you might be looking at the most popular or highest ranked universities, but that might be where everyone is applying to, and there might be another really good university that you can apply to that you have a better chance of getting in. So we during that call we discuss your different options. So we discuss, what does your budget look like? Certain universities are really expensive and some are more cheap. We need to look at that. What are your grades looking like? Because if you're applying to the top three medical universities in the country, you need to have really good grades to back that up. The academic requirements are the biggest focal point of your application always. So it's not going to matter that you did extracurricular activities. They want to see your academic marks. So that's why we need to give you some recommendations based on your grades as well. And then also, it might be that you want to study in a certain city or a certain province. Maybe you have a family member that lives there, or maybe you have a friend that lives there, or maybe you're just really into that city, or you've been there before. You just want to be in that area, or maybe you hate certain weather and you want to avoid certain cold areas or warm areas, or something like that. So we can then go over exactly which universities would suit you. So during that call, we'll do that. And then we'll also introduce our services to you. So I'm also going to introduce them here right now. So we have a couple of different service packages. In general, for MBBS, we always recommend to go with the guaranteed or elite service package. The guaranteed package is a service package that includes the application fees for 3 university applications within the whole service package. So once you've paid for that package, you don't have to pay anything else extra for your entire application until you get accepted into the university. And during that time, we then give you specific recommendations based on what would be the best ranked university that you can get into in your current circumstances. So we'll give you all of that information, and then you can choose which ones you would like to go to. And then we will also have regular calls to be checking up on your application process. We will also be reviewing all of your documents and reading through them to make sure that they are the top standard that they can be. We'll also be giving you our advice on how to get accepted and how to have a higher chance of getting accepted, like applying earlier, like getting your documents in order, like making sure your CV is correct, like making sure that your personal statement doesn't have common grammar mistakes, or that maybe you need to change certain sentences or maybe change certain paragraphs to make it better. We do interview preparation as well, because that's also something that the universities expect, especially medical universities. They do interviews. So yes, so we go over these. We go over all of these. We also assist with booking accommodation, on-campus accommodation, because off-campus accommodation, of course, is a whole other beast if you want to stay off campus. And so this is what we generally recommend for MBBS programs. Now, this doesn't mean that if you're not interested in studying in MBBS that you can't use this service package. You can use a service package for any degree. You can use it for a foundation program. You can use it for Chinese language programs. You can use it for MBA programs. You can use it for any program you would like to apply for. You can use the service package to apply. So yeah, just keep in mind that in general, the Chinese language programs that people apply for are easier to get accepted into. So it is quite a straightforward process. So that's why, in general, unless you're applying to possibly the Chinese language programs at Tsinghua, Peking, Fudan, that people tend to go with a basic package for those. But if you're doing a degree program, we do really recommend, and especially MBBS or MBA, you definitely need to take a look at that. So yes, the differences between the guaranteed service package and the elite service package is that we recommend the elite service package if you're going to be applying to more than one elite university. So that would be Tsinghua, Peking, Fudan, Shanghai Jiao Tong, Zhejiang University. So those universities. That's because these universities have a lot more application paperwork that goes with it. There's a lot more preparation. There are several rolling deadlines that you need to make. Their deadlines are much earlier. You need to prepare a lot of extra paperwork. You need to take GMAT exams for business programs. You need to have SATs. There's a lot of extra work that goes into those universities. And that's why if you apply on the basic service, you'll see on our website, there is quite a big service fee that goes with that just because there is so much extra service work that goes into it. If you have any questions regarding the medical degrees, please leave that below, or the service packages, please also leave that below. Then we also have a couple of other packages. So guaranteed and service, guaranteed and elite are the most common ones. We also have a tier 1 package, and we can also create a customized package for you if that is what you need. So with the tier 1 package, if you are interested in it, I definitely recommend booking a call to go over that. And that's especially if you need to prepare several years in advance. So let's say you're possibly applying 2 years in advance, and you are looking for extra help with getting your grades up in high school in order to apply for a top university program. Or it might be an extremely difficult program that you're applying to that's very elite, and requires a lot of extra assistance, and you just don't know where to begin. I definitely recommend that package. Okay. So in general, if you are interested in doing an MBBS program, do book a call with us. You can find it in the link below, and we can go over or you can just send us an email at apply@chinaadmissions.com, and we can go over your different options. So for applying for a medical degree, you do have to have the regular documents that you need to apply. We have that all on our website. Some universities' document requirements are slightly different from the others, but in general, you're going to need to have a scan of your passport that is valid. It can't just be about to expire or expiring next year. It has to be valid for 6 months after the start date of your program. So, in general, if you're in your final year of the validity of your passport, please renew it, get another passport, and then apply. And then you need to also have an ID photo. So, the same that you would use to apply for a passport. You need to have a white background, and you shouldn't take it with your phone. Again, please scan all your documents. Don't take pictures with your phones. And then you need to have your high school graduation certificate and your high school transcript. If you are in your final year of high school and you don't have this yet, you can still apply. You just need your latest academic transcript and then a pre-graduation letter from your school. You also will need an English language certificate. So the English language certificate, if you completed your previous education in English, you can get a letter from your school stating that your education was taught in English. And if not, then you need to have a valid TOEFL or IELTS certificate to get accepted. Some universities, although very, very, very few universities, accept the Duolingo English test. So please make absolutely sure before you spend money on a test that you might not be able to use. Then you will also need to have a medical examination as well. So you can download the template from our website. Usually, so some people think that you can do this after you arrive in China. You usually need to do this before. So this is something that's changed due to COVID, and it's kind of staying the same way. So you just need to take that form, take it to your local healthcare provider, your doctor, your hospital, and have them fill it out, do the tests. It's basic things like a urine test, blood test, ECG, those kind of things. And then also, please make sure that you're within the age limit. This is something that China is really strict about. If you're not within the age limit, you will not get accepted. And we will not be able to help you with applying because you won't get accepted. So the majority of the deadlines are 25. There are some universities that have the age limit of 30, though they're very few. And if you're over the age of 30, unfortunately, there are no universities that you can apply to for a medical bachelor's program. Then I would recommend applying to another university in a different country. You could look at universities in Europe, look at universities in other Asian countries, look at universities in the US and in the UK, where they have less strict age requirements. So let's take a look at the questions we currently have. Okay. Do we have a WhatsApp group? No, we don't. We don't have a WhatsApp group at this moment. We used to have a WeChat group, though that WeChat group was full and no longer being used. So what you can do is, if you would like to contact us, please send us an email. This is the best way of contacting us. We do reply within the day, and except on non-working days. So just be sure to send us an email with any of your questions. So you can send us a question at apply@chinaadmissions.com. What A levels are required for bachelor's? So, if you're applying for a medical degree, like we're talking about here, you need to have, for A levels, I understand that you can only have a certain number of subjects. In general, for people across the world, if you're getting your leaving school certificate, your graduation certificate, you need to have uh, biology, you need to have physics and chemistry, and mathematics. So those are things that are very important. Though they do understand with A levels, you can't have a certain. That's that's one subject too many. Most people have three A levels, so it's fine if you have three A levels in those subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology in one of those, and you have an O level in one of the others. Though I would say that biology is quite important to have an A level in. Okay. Um, so we have some questions regarding other universities, like I want to do a bachelor in psychology. Can you recommend some universities? So on the spot, I can't recommend a lot of universities because we have so many programs. We have thousands of programs. We have hundreds of universities. Or actually, we have thousands of universities on the platform at the moment. So what I would recommend is just go onto China Admissions, look up bachelors in psychology, and you'll find so many different options. And the same for here, where they say, when will you start for computer science major in English taught or English taught computer science major? Please go onto our website. The majority of the programs we have there are English taught programs. We have that very written quite prominently on our website, which programs are English taught, which programs are Chinese taught. I would say Zhejiang University of Science and Technology has great computer science programs, or engineering and science programs in general. So you can take a look over there. And when it comes to exchange programs, we don't usually do that. That is something that you usually have to check with your university that you're currently studying at, and just see what are their partner universities, and if you can study over there. So that's something that I would check directly with your university about. We also don't assist with transfers. Is your office based in Shanghai? So we are currently all online, but our office is based in Beijing. Okay, great. So that seems to be all the questions regarding the subject that we have on hand. Regarding deadlines, if you're applying for deadlines, just keep in mind that each deadline is different. We have some deadlines that are in February, some that are in March. The majority are in May and June. So that's usually where the deadlines are. Though I wouldn't wait until the month before, because you know that it takes, in some countries it takes longer to get certain documents, like if you have to apply for a passport, you have to get a police clearance, you need to get a medical examination. All those things could take a really long time. You might have to have it translated into English or Chinese. That also takes a long time for some people in certain countries. So I would recommend to start your application now. Okay, great. So thank you so much for joining today's live stream, and I'll see you guys in our another live stream next week.